This is Hannibal back here from thehannibaltv.com and the second episode of AEW All Access popped up into my YouTube feed. I mean, someone posted it illegally. So I watched it to check it out. For anyone that hasn't heard about this, it airs after Dynamite, and it's a behind the scenes look of AEW. I don't know how much of it is scripted and how much isn't. But it's similar to Total Divas in a way, although it's not just couples. For instance, this episode was chronicling the Young Bucks coming back to AEW after being away for 2 months after their backstage fight. Uh, I couldn't find episode one, so I don't know if they explained in episode one why the Young Bucks were away. But I could see this all access show appealing to non wrestling fans, and because it's kind of a soap opera type show. So I don't think that they should assume that everyone knows why, like the Young Bucks were away, for instance, if they didn't cover that in episode one. Because in episode two, they just were talking about them being away, contemplating retirement, all this stuff, and then coming back. There was a lot on Sammy Guevara and his girlfriend, or his wife now, the Brazilian wrestler whose name I'm sadly forgetting. That was interesting. I mean, I didn't know that he had been wrestling for 10 years prior to AEW. It showed some of the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, everybody knows wrestling is fake now, and wrestling is produced. So at this point, showing behind the scenes stuff really isn't going to make any difference at all. The other thing was, the one thing that I find weird. A big part of this was Adam Cole and Britt Baker, and it's going through Adam Cole being out of action due to concussions, and we're all supposed to feel sorry for Adam Cole with his super hot girlfriend. Um, that's also a dentist, and he's signed to AEW. It shows him in his private gym. They're driving a nice car. I mean, and they're talking about how he's going through hell and so forth. It's like, do you really think that we're all feeling terrible for you? I understand concussions are bad, but for normal people, like I've had a ton of concussions. And I've been in the security industry with bouncers where, yeah, you can get attacked, you can have a concussion, you got to go back to work the next night. And I've wrestled, got a horrible concussion in 2021, wrestled the next week, even though the gym was spinning around me the next day. Now, I'm not saying that's smart, that's dumb, but like we aren't all awarded the time to get paid while sitting at home. So I'm not taking away the severity of it. I'm sorry he had to go through all that. I just found it hard to feel sorry for a guy that's clearly rich with a super hot wife living like pretty much a dream, what appears to be a dream life, and they're making it seem like it's absolute hell when for a normal everyday person like me that works a regular job, and doesn't get paid if he doesn't work, even if he is injured. I just have a hard time feeling sorry for someone like that. And yes, Green, I did notice. Yes, he's very small. I do agree with that, but I'm not hating on it. I still liked it overall. All I'm saying is, for your average person, I found it hard to feel pity. A lot of the show was trying to make us feel pity for Adam Cole, but it's like, this guy seems to have an awesome life, and at no point was the doctor saying he's never going to be able to wrestle again. They were just saying that, okay, you may have to wait a few more months. We all know he's sitting at home getting paid, so I found it hard to feel bad for him for that reason. Other than that, if the trailer to episode 3 showed at the end and they showed some drama, and honestly, I'll watch episode 3. I didn't mind it, to be honest with you. I'd rather watch a reality show about wrestling than wrestling. So yeah, I didn't mind it. I'll definitely watch another episode. You guys can let me know what you thought about it in the description. Someone says Britt was BFFs with Wardlow. She had to immediately clear up they weren't dating. One thing I noticed about Wardlow is like it's very clear AEW has no testing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying Wardlow now on this all access show compared to when he debuted has become huge. I didn't know any of this about Wardlow and Britt, so whatever. In wrestling, there's a lot of sharing of women and dating. Like, for instance, Brian Pillman married the Ultimate Warrior's ex-wife. Steve Austin married Billy Jack Haynes' ex-wife at one point, who was also previously Chris Adams' ex-wife. Elizabeth went out with Luger after Macho Man. The whole Lita, Matt Hardy stuff. Someone said they talked about the backstage fight with Punk without the Bucks saying it was Punk directly. Yeah, maybe that's why it never computed with me, but I did notice that like I was lost, and for like your average viewer flipping through, where I do think a show like this appeals to like females because there's a lot of females in it, and people outside of wrestling who might be curious, oh, how does this wrestling thing work? I think that they should explain stuff more and not just assume everyone knows everything. Donnie, I don't know how many ring rats there are these days, but back in the day, yes, the ring rats were passed around. For instance, supposedly the one that was with Snuka was with a few other wrestlers as well. But we're not going to get into it. We all know how wrestling is, but overall, decent show. I'm out of here. I'm going to the gym.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe